This is so bad, you guys. This is so bad. Cuomo was not only beating Zohran Mamdani, who is in second, which is encouraging considering that half the city doesn't even know who Zohran is, but right now he's beating him 37-18. Now, like I said, the good news is that Zohran is still in second place and half the city doesn't even know who he is. Cuomo has 100% name recognition. But this remains the bad news. Among Black and Latino voters that are in New York City in the Democratic primary, Cuomo is winning 50-8, 41-20. Now, the kind of ironic thing about this is that Zohran has more support among white voters who are college educated and have higher income, despite the fact that his policies would actually help working class and poor New Yorkers a lot more than it would help the white college educated people making $150,000 a year plus. Now, in my view, there's no reason why Cuomo should even be in this race, okay? There's no reason why he should be getting any support amongst anyone, considering that he's a sex pest and he's being investigated by the DOJ right now for his involvement in the corrupt schemes that killed a bunch of elderly people during COVID, not to mention his insane corrupt ties to Wall Street, not to mention his insane corruption over the MTA, not to mention that he's a radical Zionist that passed anti-BDS laws during his term and wants to make it illegal to criticize Israel, not to mention his corrupt support for charter schools, which has done so much damage to the public school system here, not to mention the fact that his campaign is being bankrolled by dark money Republican donors, not to mention the insane right-wing austerity he implemented as governor, cutting taxes on the rich while capping their property taxes at the expense of services for the public. Not to mention the tens of millions he took away from Hurricane Sandy relief to attract wealthy businesses. Or the tens of millions he took from the MTA to bail out a fucking ski resort. Or really his insane corruption when it comes to every single sector of the fucking economy while he was the governor, including creating the IDC, which empowered the right wing and helped kill progressive legislation while he was governor. So why he has any support amongst anybody is really fucking crazy. But I think the reason why he does have more support amongst Latinos and Black voters at this stage are for two reasons. Number one, he is showing up there. Okay? If you go to his Twitter, he is going into all the Black communities, all the Latino communities. He's going to their churches. He's going to food drives. Like, he is showing up in a way that Zohran's campaign, are you guys paying attention? Because I don't see you guys in the church. This is the problem with the left having no fucking religious people, okay? I know Zohran is Muslim. What I'm saying is a lot of Black people and Latino people, they're Christian, they're Catholic, they're Baptist. And a lot of people on the left, a lot of organizers on the left are atheists. And they're not showing up in these churches to canvass and to try to persuade people in the community. And who are the people who will go into Black and Latino communities regardless of their socioeconomic status? Churches. That's a problem, folks. And then the second reason, which isn't talked about nearly enough, and I think one of the reasons why is because there's this idea that Black and Latino people are so liberal just because they vote for Democrats. That's not the case at all. Honestly, if the Republicans were not so over the top racist, really, if Republicans and conservatives could just stop being such overt racists, they would probably win a lot more elections. They would probably get a lot more Black and Latino support. The Democrats are already bleeding Black and Latino male support, as we saw in this last election. But the thing that isn't talked about nearly enough is actually how conservative a lot of Black and Latino voters are. And I don't mean economically conservative. That's the thing, is that a lot of times when you hear Democrats or establishment Democrats say yeah, Black and Latino voters are a little bit more conservative, they try to push on you that means that they're establishment, that they love the establishment Democrats who are corporate shills and economically conservative. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a lot of Black and Latino voters are culturally conservative. And because there's no one on the left that has any cultural conservative views, the left continues then to cede ground to conservative Democrats, corporate Democrats, corrupt fucking entrenched Democrats like Andrew Cuomo, who will use his Catholicism as if he's really a practicing Catholic as a way to try to appeal to them and going into their communities. Because really, if you think about it, the left not going into those communities, not really having anyone that is culturally conservative or religious, that just cedes all the ground to the Republicans and the corporate Democrats, neither of which really represent the conservative Black or Latino voter, but they don't really have anywhere else to go. Because again, they can't really go to the conservatives often because they're so fucking outwardly racist and hateful, but then they don't really feel they can go to the left either because the left is so culturally liberal and non-religious, so then they end up just getting stuck with corporate Democrats, and that's how that shit happens. And this is also how the Democrats continue to hold them hostage, because they know this, and they'll be like, sure, we're not going to offer you anything, but what are you going to do, go to the Republicans? I want to know what Zohran Mamdani's campaign is doing to address this. What are you guys doing to address this, okay? Because we're running out of time.